on this last session of the social media listening showcase. Before I kick things off, I just want to remind everyone to leave any questions you have in that Q&A box. We'll get to as many of those as we can at the end of the session. So with that, I'll just go ahead and hand it over to you, Ben.
Thank you, Kara. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Welcome. Thanks to Green Book for hosting. So we're here today to talk about enhancing social listening with trusted AI. So achieving trusted AI in social listening, and then really enhancing social listening with that trusted AI. To bring this idea to life, we'll start by framing the problem of distrusted AI as it currently stands, and then get straight to how we actually achieve trusted AI using Converseon's Conversus platform. Conversus is a AI-powered natural language processing, or NLP, platform. It's specifically designed to, enhance your analysis of social listening data and other forms of unstructured text. Before I dive in, just a quick note about who we are at Converseon. So we are, in our DNA, an AI-powered natural language processing, again, NLP company. And we built our first AI-powered NLP model as early as 2008. So we've been in the AI game for a very long time. And our mission is to apply that NLP, that AI-powered NLP, to unruly social listening data and other unstructured conversation data in order to more rapidly, more scalably extract relevant insights and predictions about business outcomes from that data. So in short, we're taking you from unstructured conversations to smarter business decisions, really through the power of our leading AI-powered NLP technology and solutions. Quick introduction to me. Who am I? I'm Ben Sigerson. I'm the VP of Solutions at Converseon. I've been with Converseon for, over a decade now. In my current role, I sit at the intersection of our tech, our AI tech, and our client-specific strategic objectives. And my job is really to bridge the two in a way that ensures client success. So with that bit of housekeeping out of the way, let's get right into it. To start things off, let's talk about definitions here. To frame all this, what do we mean broadly when we talk about trusted AI? It really starts sort of a multi-part definition. It starts with standards and guidelines. So trusted AI is built around a series of important criteria, and those include safety, accuracy, reliability, transparency and accountability, human-in-the-loop governance and oversight, and non-discrimination, among others, right? These are phrases we've all heard bandied about a lot in association with AI and safe AI, trusted AI. Now, enacting these standards, that really requires tools and systems that can mitigate the risks associated with AI. So all the while enhancing its impacts and users' ability to trust it and ultimately get more accurate analysis out of it. So tools and systems power the practical execution of standards and guidelines. Without the right tools, your standards and guidelines are just going to remain abstract and kind of meaningless to your AI users. And the exact nature of the standards and the tools in place to enact them, that's going to vary a lot depending on how AI is being used. There's generative use cases, classification use cases, there's image recognition, there's text, right? So today we're going to narrow that down and we're going to focus specifically on AI-powered natural language processing, again, NLP. I'll refer to it as NLP going forward. Specifically text classification in support of social listening and other unstructured conversation data research. So for example, a common type of AI-powered NLP classification would be something like sentiment analysis. That's something that every social listening professional has experience with. And our demo today will be focused on a tool, Conversus, that provides transparent, trustworthy, and accurate AI-powered NLP classification for social listening. And third, if we want to enact trusted AI for social listening, this also means acknowledging that the current status quo must change. So most AI systems in use today, they simply don't make the grade. We'll get into why not in a bit, but practically speaking, for NLP classification and social listening, enacting trusted AI will directly impact how your NLP models are trained, validated, deployed, and maintained over time. And that's all, again, with the goal of maximizing their effectiveness and impact on your analysis, on the job you're trying to do as a social listening professional, all while minimizing the AI bias and the risk associated with AI. So moving forward, we can't talk about trusted AI without first acknowledging the seismic shifts that have occurred recently, with respect to standards and guidelines, that first bubble on the previous slide, that first aspect of trusted AI I touched on. So to ensure that trusted AI is taken seriously, we're now seeing it get embedded into new regulatory frameworks and laws. It'll soon be a requirement for both producers and consumers of AI technologies. So there's no getting around it. AI safety regulation is coming. I think just this couple of days ago, the full text of the EU's new AI Act just got leaked. On the right-hand side here, you can see a quote from that, which gets to the core of trusted AI, which is that it depends on good data governance. And on the left, we see some recent headlines from the U.S. surrounding AI safety, the executive order from President Biden around trustworthy AI, et cetera. But high-performance AI systems, they require high-quality data. High-quality data, in turn, depends on good data governance and management. So moving along, we're now going to get into the practical application of trusted AI and AI governance for NLP classification and social listening specifically. And to kick things off, I want to throw out a few questions and considerations for you all to mull over as I'm going through this deck, because I think these are really directly relevant for anyone who works in social listening. Questions to ask yourself and to think about are, where is AI being used in your tool stack, in your listening platforms? How accurately are your AI models performing today on your data? How are you testing or scoring them? If you don't know, can your model provider or vendor, the listening platform vendor, tell you? And if you wanted, would you be able to participate in the AI training and testing process? These are all really critical, practical considerations. Don't require you to be a data scientist for enacting trusted AI and social listening. And if your listening vendor can't answer these questions, you're going to need to find either internal or third-party provided methods for addressing these questions. So hopefully those questions are thought-provoking. It'll help you frame your thinking about what trusted AI is practically for social listening. But let's talk a little bit about the value. What is it we're getting from trusted AI? Why, we've talked about it in terms of risk mitigation, avoiding regulatory issues, not falling behind. But what are the tangible benefits as an insights professional, right? First thing I would say is trusted AI means that you truly transparently know the accuracy of your AI. So AI transparency leads to AI accuracy. And the benefits of that accuracy and transparency for NLP classification and social listening are, one, you'll be able to remove data quality doubt. That means you'll be able to trust in the correctness of your findings and your insights based on the AI. And you'll easily be able to communicate that trustworthiness of those insights to other stakeholders in your organization to remove their data quality doubt as well. And as a result of all that, you'll be able to derive sharper, more relevant insights for your business from unstructured social listening data much faster than ever before. So truly scalable, automated, and accurate analysis of social listening data. That's the real promise of trusted AI for everyone who's not a data scientist and who really just views it as a tool for getting something, right? So just spelled out some value and benefits, which paint a picture for us of why trusted AI is great. It's great to have, but to understand why it is a must-have, truly a must-have, we have to go a step further, and that's to acknowledge that there's a problem specific to the social listening industry and it's in need of a solution. The problem is that data quality doubt, which I kind of referenced just in the past slide, it's extremely widespread among users of social listening platforms. So even though all of those platforms use AI, so what we have right now, it isn't the absence of AI, it's distrusted AI. AI has been in use for a decade or more in social listening in various forms. It hasn't been trustworthy, right? It's been distrusted AI. And yet, although data quality doubt and distrusted AI have been this elephant in the room for so long, no one's done anything about it. Why is that, right? The answer is relatively simple. The maintenance of AI-powered NLP has historically been seen as too costly and difficult to implement. It's too hard, right? In fact, the performance of AI-powered NLP systems, it often just isn't even measured, let alone shared with clients, right? And if you don't believe me, right, ask your social listening platform users, ask your actual people who use your platform, whatever platform you're subscribed to, how much they trust the out-of-box sentiment analysis or any other built-in NLP in that listening platform. They'll tell you right away that data is messy. It requires a lot of manual cleaning and QA just to make it usable for any kind of analysis. Some people just forego the use of it entirely because it's too messy. So what's the result of this current status quo, right? This problem? The result is that customers are left in the dark on data quality. As I mentioned, they don't trust out-of-box NLP in their listening platforms. For decision makers, executives, right, business decision makers, unstructured conversation data, listening data, it's often seen as having limited business value or not being entirely trustworthy on its own in its own right as a source of insight. It often needs to be paired with something else for it to gain validity. And for social listening vendors, there's this constant risk of churn, right? So if I'm a vendor of a listening platform, I've got this constant risk of customers getting fed up with my low data quality and then moving on to another platform. There's nothing I can really do about that, aside from charging my customers for more, human support hours to manually QA their data, which isn't a great solution either. So how do we address this, right? To get serious about addressing distrusted AI, we really need AI governance, and that starts with admitting that AI models are not magic, right? They're not miracles, they're not magic. If social listening conversation data is constantly changing over time, which we all know it is, then the performance of our AI-powered NLP is going to change as well. So in other words, set it and forget it AI, which has been the status quo, it just doesn't work. And the governance of AI-powered NLP on the social listening data, to do that, that means AI performance assessment and maintenance as a service provided on an ongoing basis on client-specific data. And if we can successfully do that, deliver that sort of rigorous level of model assessment, AI model assessment and maintenance as a service, then we will have mitigated really the core driver of distrusted AI and data quality doubt. And if we can remove data quality doubt in unstructured listening data, we will be a big step closer to unlocking the benefit and value I mentioned a few minutes ago, which is that, again, AI accuracy delivers sharper insights faster, more scalably, and AI transparency that removes data quality doubt and enables us to easily communicate the trustworthiness of our social listening research to key stakeholders. So with that bit of stage setting, I hope it's all clear to you what trusted AI is, why it's so beneficial, and why it's a must-have for social listening at this point, for ensuring that your data is accurate enough to make business decisions from it, to draw insights from it, and for ensuring that you're also staying ahead of those AI safety regulations, which are definitely coming down the pike. So the Converseon platform's trusted AI system is really the only tool in social listening today that is designed to do exactly what we've just talked about. It provides an automated, fully platform-supported method for telling you how accurate your AI-powered NLP is on your data specifically on an ongoing basis. And through that process, it removes data quality doubt. It makes your AI transparent and trustworthy. It also enables customers to be hands-on in this process as much as they want. So users can participate directly in the testing and retraining of their NLP models, their AI models, and that makes it easy for them to maintain control of the AI that they're using. And perhaps most importantly, the system is powered by patent-pending algorithms that drastically reduce the time spent on costly manual data labeling, manual hand coding of data. The algorithms that do this, they do it by automatically providing users with a statistically confident assessment of the AI's performance based on the minimum amount of human labeled or human coded test data. So the result is really a first of its kind, extremely low effort AI and data quality auditing system. So let's now see this in action in a real data set. Let's get to an actual demo. First, I'm gonna take a quick sip of water before I move on. So as we've discussed, right, we're going to see a demonstration of how Converseon's trusted AI system, it tells you how accurate your AI-powered NLP is on your data specifically on an ongoing basis. And through doing that, it enhances all of your NLP in your social listening environments, making it trusted and transparent AI-powered NLP. So let's pop over to the Converseon platform to demonstrate the functionality of the trusted AI system on a real data set. Okay, so this process, so we're in the Converseon homepage now. This process of establishing trusted AI, it starts with deployment. That means deploying your AI-powered NLP models to the data that you want to analyze, right? In Converseon, this happens on the classification jobs page, right? It's because we're talking about classification models that are being applied to our social listing data. So I'm going to navigate over to the classification jobs page. So each classification job features that you see here, they all feature user-selected AI-powered NLP models that are used to classify or categorize user-selected sets of data. So typically queries that are living in a listing platform. So that's got hundreds of thousands or millions of posts that are being collected by those queries, and we want to classify all that data using our NLP models for sentiment and more, right? In this demo case, we're gonna look at a classification job that's running on data in the BrandWatch social listing platform, as we can see in this blue line box on the left. And as indicated in the job name, the data is about airlines, right? So this is the airlines. Actually, the queries here are about United Airlines, Southwest Airlines, and American Airlines, just a sort of a selection of U.S. airlines that we chose for this demo. In the Converseon box, highlighted here in the middle, we select the AI-powered NLP models that we want to deploy to our social listing data. I'm going to open up that box. And here we see a sentiment model, first thing it's selected here. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can see some of the other models that are active in this job. We have a voice of customer model for airlines that identifies voice of customer posts, a trust model that identifies expressions of trust or distrust, ESG model that identifies posts related to environmental responsibility, social responsibility, governance. And then the final two models here, which are fine-tuned large language models, they identify consumer or user attitude, sort of like an emotional model with 15 different attitudinal states that it identifies. And then content type, which is like a voice segmentation model, which we'll get into some more detail on a little later. But this is just showing you, this is how we've selected the specific models that we want to apply to our social listing data living over in BrandWatch, right? So with that, we've specified the models we want to deploy. At the next stage of this workflow, we're sending results back to the listing platform. All the output from the AI models, that tagging and classification, is going to go back to the listing platform. That's what's happening in this green box over here in the upper right that says BrandWatch. And from this classification job, we're also configuring our auto sampler. That's what this sampling box does here. From this sampler, we'll automatically select statistically representative samples of our AI model outputs at a user-specified cadence. And that can be weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or even annual. And once collected, each sample will then be used downstream to test our AI model performance for the time period it represents. And after testing, we can then optimize our models as needed. So now we're ready to kick off our classification job. To do that, we simply have to click the Save button at the lower right-hand corner. And this job's been running for months already, so we already have some collected monthly samples that we can use to test our model performance during specific months. To do that, we move out of this classification job page. We're going to go over to the reservoirs page, which is available here on the lower left, right, to view review our collected samples. I'm just going to hop over there now. Okay, so here we are on the reservoirs page, and you can see I've already entered the names of these samples. So they have the same name as the classification job, the airline's reputation intelligence job. And each you can see the time period for which each sample applies using the period columns and the interval start columns. So you can see which month each sample corresponds to. And we're going to look at the sample that was collected for the month of November, just a couple months ago, November 2023. And again, by reviewing this sample, we're going to get a statistically representative picture of AI model performance on this airline's data set specifically for the month of November. To do this, we click Review, and we select which model we want to test, right? So these are, again, all those models we saw active in the job. They're all here ready for us to test their performance. We're going to look at two models for our demo today, sentiment and content type. Sentiment, everyone's familiar with. Content type, again, that performs a type of owned versus earned voice segmentation that's very powerful for analyzing social data, performing campaign impact analysis, and among other things. Let's start by reviewing sentiment, the one we're all familiar with. So I'm going to go to the sentiment model review page. And from here, we can push a set of sample data to a labeling interface where a user can then review the sentiment of individual posts in the sample and decide on the correct sentiment value. So there is a human labeling, human coding component to this, right? Based on those human supplied labels, the performance of the sentiment models will be evaluated dynamically in Converseon. And we can find our labeling sample in the labeling interface using this unique ID right here. So I'm just gonna copy that and we'll search for it. So we're gonna come back over here to the labeling interface, search on that unique ID, and right away we see the specific labeling job in the labeling interface that's tied to that sentiment model for that month of November. And you can see I've already labeled some of the posts. I've already made some progress on this chunk of data. And just for sort of illustrative purposes, we're gonna click in here and just label one post just to demonstrate the process, right? So we found our labeling set. We're just gonna look at this post. This looks kind of newsy. I would say this is neutral, right? This is a neutral kind of newsy post. I'm gonna click neutral and then click submit, okay? And that takes me on to the next post. I can keep labeling if I want to, but I'm not gonna do that right now. This is just a quick demonstration. So let's go back to Converseon, to the model review page, right? For the English, that sentiment model that we're reviewing. Let's review the performance of the sentiment model based on the data I've already labeled, right? So I labeled a handful of posts already. So we'll just click on results and metrics. Right? It's going to load that up. And right away, we see a report card for our sentiment model's performance on this sample of data. So the report card has several key features that ensure we can easily get representative sense of the model's performance. So first, we see in the level column down here that the statistical confidence associated with each of the model's performance scores. So Converseon only shows us high confidence estimates of the model performance, 95% confidence. Second, and this is the most important feature of this whole system, a patent pending algorithm has computed the model performance scores based on a very small set of human labeled posts. So if we look at the evaluated rows field right here, we can see exactly how many human labeled posts there are in this sample. We only needed to label about 60 posts to get to a highly confident assessment of our sentiment model's performance on this data specifically for the month of November. So we're 95% confident that the model's accuracy, for instance, falls somewhere between 77% and 94%. So that's a 17-point range. If that range is too wide, we want a more precise sense, more narrow sense of the model's accuracy, we can just label a few more rows of data. As we label, the width value is going to shrink. The difference between the minimum and the maximum will shrink. The real key here is just that minimum value, right? Because we're 95% confident that the model's accuracy is at or above that value. So if that value is satisfactory, then we don't need to label more data to get a more confident assessment. We already know the model is at least that good, probably better than the minimum value. And we can also look at the per label scores down below. This will help us diagnose exactly where the model might be strongest or weakest, right? So we can see immediately that the model does very well at identifying neutral and negative posts, and it's weakest at identifying positive posts. So this might be where we focus our retraining and optimization of the model if we deem that necessary. But I would say, just looking at these numbers here, we can see that the performance of the sentiment model is already, for this month of November, is already quite good, and certainly significantly better than anything we would expect out of an out-of-box social listening platform. The best numbers I ever see out of a social listening platform are maybe 60-65% accuracy, if that, right? So we're already well above that without having done any retraining of the model, and we can fine-tune this test more to see if these numbers go up. So that's the sentiment assessment. Let's go back and look at one more model, which is the content type model, that voice segmentation model. Again, so voice segmentation, it's ideal for understanding campaign impact, among other things. It breaks down social listening data feeds by news, paid or owned promotional content, organic user-generated content. So this model is really state-of-the-art, fine-tuned large language model. And when we look at the performance numbers, we can see this immediately. The model's performing very impressively. And again, we're able to get to this really highly confident assessment of the model's performance just based on a handful of human labeled posts, a little over 50, right? And that minimum requirement of human labeling, only labeling 50 to 60 posts for both models and having 95% confident in the model's performance, that's the key to the viability of this whole trusted AI system. It's what makes this whole workflow I've just shown you scalable. So we can repeat this process across as many models and data sets on an ongoing basis because we don't need to label a lot to get to a clear representative sense of the AI model performance. And it's also easy for clients to participate in this process. So that confident sense of the AI model's performance, that's what we mean practically when we talk about trusted AI for social listening. By establishing this trust, we can trust these AI-powered models to accurately classify my social listening data feeds. And that means that I can move on to more sophisticated types of reporting on this data rather than getting mired in data QA, data quality assurance, and cleaning, which is unfortunately such a reality for so many social insights professionals. And case in point, let's look briefly at some of the analysis, analytical output from this classification job, some of the analysis I was able to do because this data was highly accurate. So here we're looking at a BI dashboard that we've set up based on that same set of data, that airlines data I just showed you. And because we trust that data, we can perform really sophisticated, complex benchmarking across a wide range of topics and issues related to reputation in this case, for ESG, customer experience, and more. So here we see, dozens of ESG related topics ranging from environment to social to governance. Under CX, we can look at the specific customer experience related issues that are dragging reputation or helping reputation the most for these airlines on an airline by airline basis. And so that's really that's the trusted AI system in action. That's the main thing I wanted to show you guys today. In conclusion, I just want to give you a few key points, and then we'll get to hopefully a little time for some questions if there are any. So the first point is that data quality doubt is endemic in social listening. That's the current status quo. Black box, set it and forget it NLP and AI is a big part of the problem. It contributes directly to distrust in AI, distrust in data quality and analysis. And importantly, AI alone, however exciting or new or cutting edge or shiny, is not going to magically fix this problem. So to fix this problem, to remove data quality doubt, to achieve trusted AI, and to stay compliant with future AI safety standards, all AI, no matter how sophisticated, it needs to be complemented with ongoing testing and optimization. So AI testing and optimization are must-haves. And finally, the Converseon platform's trusted AI system is designed to solve this problem in a scalable and easy to use manner. It tells you the accuracy of your AI on your data specifically on an ongoing basis. And only with tools like this can we really begin to mitigate the root cause drivers of AI distrust, move beyond primarily manual social insights approaches, and achieve more scalable, automated, highly accurate, trusted AI-powered NLP for social listening. And I'll just leave with a sort of something for everyone to think about is, to push for this level of service across the social listening space, buyers should start to expect this from social listening vendors and the NLP in their platforms. And so to ensure this level of service, it really starts with making the right demands of vendors. The important question, in other words, is not, are you using AI? We should never be asking our listening providers, are you using AI? Of course they are. Everyone's using AI. The important question is, that should really be a part of every social listening RFP is, the questions are, how are you training your AI? How are you ensuring your AI accuracy on my data specifically? How are you enabling me as the user to participate in the AI training and testing processes? And how are you empowering me to know and control the accuracy of the AI that I'm using? So hopefully this gets some gears turning out there. With that, we'll turn it over for some questions. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ben, for your time. That was really great. Very, very thorough here. And we only have about a minute for questions. So if there's any more questions, feel free to pop those in the chat. I'll just go through a couple until we're at time here. First question, how easy is it to use Converseon Trusted AI System on data from other sources like surveys, reviews, media monitoring, etc.? Does it require an API integration with social listening platform?
Yeah, so the answer is it can be used as fully data source agnostic, right? So we're platform agnostic. We do not require an API integration with your social listening platform to do this. We do have API integrations with a number of key listening platforms out there, the big ones that you probably are all using. But without that, even without an API integration, we can easily run this system on your data. And we can also incorporate data from many different sources. It's an open architecture where you can incorporate surveys, reviews, all that type of data. Any unstructured text can be subjected to this system.
Awesome. Thank you. One more quick question here. I perform a lot of social listening measurements using Boolean keyword queries. Is it possible to use the system to monitor the accuracy of queries too, or is it just for AI slash natural language processing?
Yeah, so it's absolutely not, it is not just limited to AI and NLP, right? So it's obviously a great system for maintaining the accuracy of AI, but it can absolutely be used on any text categorization, text analytics system, whether it's keyword powered or even if it's just manual tagging, right? You can assess the accuracy of that using the system. So keywords, AI, it all works.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. We are right at time here, but appreciate everyone for coming. If you want to get any more information, there's a big book time with me button on the session page that will take you directly to Conversion's demo page, so you can do that. And if you join late, the demo is going to be available on demand in just a few minutes. So thank you so much, Ben, and everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Kara. Thanks, everyone.